Melissa, what was the last purchase that you made that you would consider childish, or most people around you would consider childish?
All forms of ice cream.
I mean, sure, yeah.
A lot of snacks. A lot of unnecessary novelty snacks.
Ooh, okay. Like what?
Right, like a weird cereal, which I don't do as much. Last year, I don't know if this still continues to this day or if it's a recurring thing and like once a year they bring it out. But I had mini Reese's Puff cereal.
That's
it's the same Reese's Puffs.
Yeah.
Where the puffs are like the size of a pea and somehow it's better. It's a better cereal.
It sure is. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least we're together on this.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just like because of its density, it doesn't get soggy as quickly, I've noticed, or it like there's just more surface area to I don't know.
I'm not a physicist. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe it's just because they're smaller.
Either.
You can put more on a spoon and put more in mouth, and mouth tastes it more.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
Good
Indeed. I think for us, it's not a purchase I made in particular, but one that I'm also excited about is Rachel bought a giant beanbag. A giant beanbag chair. And it's
cuddly.
It's this like it's like actually a chair and not just like it's a giant bag.
It has a back.
But yeah, it's this big giant like almost adult-sized chair. It's super comfy. And it is for those of you who are only listening to the podcast, it's this like rainbow colored furry feling kind of big old beanbag chair,
unicorn looking. Unicorn aesthetics.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just thought it was fun. It's neat. It's good. It's fun.
It is all those things.
Indeed.
I am going to Disney World next week, so then we'll see what kind of childish purchase I come back with then.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Good stuff. I'm jealous. I haven't been to Disney World in a while.
You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. What's stopping you?
Life. Life, all sorts of other traveling expenses and things like that. I just bought my tickets for Richmond for my friend's wedding. So excited about that. That's about a month away ish.
Nice. I have not been on a plane since 2013. And neither has my mother. We're a road trip family. We do not conventionally fly. And we're finding that we have such a lack of knowledge about how to do it correctly. We went through all of luggage yesterday. And we're like, we do not own a single piece of luggage that is the correct size.
All of luggage is what you just said. Every single luggage in the entire world.
Between the two of us. Like my parents... We're not flyers, but when I was 9, my parents were like, the kids should experience one flight. Let's do one. And we only went to Cleveland. We only flew from St. Louis to Cleveland. What's that? Like 2 hours, 11 minutes?
Sure. Yeah.
And they bought a big luggage set then in the year 1999. And they've not bought new luggage. And all of the wheels have broken on every piece of luggage except the giant luggage. And I'm like, Mom, this won't fit in the overhead compartment. She's like, I was going to check it. And I'm like, if you check it, then that's all this extra time we have to see. This is what you made a grimace. This is what I was trying to convince my mom. She's like, I don't want to bring something into the cabin of the plane and make the cabin of the plane more chaotic because I have to drag it up and down the aisle and like get it in the bin. And I'm like, I understand. But we are not spending like an extra hour waiting at the airport for the thing to come down the carousel. And what if it gets lost? Or what if it gets squashed or something? Not that, I believe everybody at the airline is doing their best job, but like mishaps happen. I'd like them not to happen to us. Let's just bring it with us. We have nothing that's the right size. So we have to like borrow luggage from family and friends. We're not prepared. We have to do all of this catch up just to be able to plane like any normal person does plane.
Like the Hollywood movie Plane.
Right.
Just plane like a normal person, normal plane.
I'm a professional butler, but I'm not a professional Gerard Butler. I wouldn't know where to start.
Indeed. Well, I have a few pointers and
point away
stuff like that. But first of all, welcome one and all to number 281 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. My name is Kyle Springer. I'll be your captain this evening on this flight of a podcast. And my co-captain, as always, Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa.
Welcome aboard. If you look out the window to your left, you'll see the Grand Mississippi River.
Indeed.
Big and brown.
Yeah, I've flown quite a bit over my lifetime. My grandparents, I was lucky enough to have grandparents that had a lot of money. And would like sponsor at least I'm not sure how it all worked exactly because I was always super young, but it felt like they always sponsored like all of their kids and their families to come on these big like Christmas trips and stuff like that. So I've flown internationally on really, really long flights to Australia and stuff like that. And then most that I've done is just across the country and just stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a decade for you since you've been on a plane.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. It's strange because there's a lot that has changed and also not a lot that has changed.
Do I still take my shoes off?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That is still a thing. They're depending on the airport. There's certain airports that have newer machines that scan all of your luggage as it goes in.
Uh-huh.
Some places will have you take out like larger electronics like laptops or stuff like that. So if you're packing that in your bag, that can always be a hassle, right? Of just
so
like,
here's all the electronics we're going to have.
My Wii.
My mom has a phone. I have a phone. I'm going to bring my tablet on the plane to like read comics. I might have one of those small electric fans, for use in the Disney World. And my mom's like, that's too many things. They're going to have to check all of those. We're going to have to go through security with all of them. Do we need them? And I'm like, Mom, that's 4 items between the two of us. Yeah. Do you know how many items the average person does travel with? This much I know.
I've traveled with video game consoles.
Right, and not like my across the country.
Yes, yeah, not like a little small Game Boy. I had that, but also like I'm also here with my Xbox and controllers and all that good stuff. Yeah, no, you're fine with all those electronics. They always say if it's bigger than a tablet, you'll probably need to take it out. So something like a Nintendo Switch or a laptop, you generally have to take those things out. You'll be fine, right, unless your tablet is like comedically large.
No, it's, I don't know. What is it, like an 810?
You're good. Yeah.
It's large, but not excessively large.
You'll probably
it's
be
comic
fine.
Book sized. It's 4 comics.
My first actual piece of advice is wear something comfy on the plane. I know back in the day people used to dress up to go on airplanes. I would not recommend that now because, like you said, you still have to take your shoes off. With all the pressure and of being up in
literal
the
pressure,
sky, yeah.
Not like peer pressure.
Right? Yeah. I feel like belts can be uncomfortable, especially if that belt has like a metal buckle that will set off the metal detector, so you can't wear that anyways through security. So sweatpants, leggings, stuff like that, like a t-shirt, and then keep a sweatshirt ready because sometimes it can get cold.
There's my mom is the number one scout for places that might be too cold and what to bring if the place is too cold. So she's got it covered. Yeah. Moms don't not do that. I've never met a mom who isn't a bring a jacket mom. I've never met a hot mom.
Well, your loss.
I can find some near me. This ad keeps telling me on the side of this webpage.
Right, exactly.
In my area?
In this economy? Yeah, so I would say dress comfortably. You've already started realizing, I think the next bit of advice would be to try and pack. Well, I tend to pack extra light. I know how to do all of that stuff, but try to err on the lighter side. You can always stop at a Target once you get to wherever you're going, or a Walmart or something like that, to get toiletries or stuff like that. There's certain things, of course, you probably, have and need and don't want to replace when you get there. But
I do have a considerable number. I put 20 things on my face every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to bring those 20 things with me. Sure, maybe I can leave 3 at home. I am not making a trip to buy things. I have things already. I'm going to put them in the little containers. Yeah, I've stocked up on the trial, free sample sizes of skincare they throw in as a freebie when you order $50 worth.
Perfect.
I've got that.
Yeah. Then you're good to go with all of that. They won't question you if you have why do you have 20 bottles of small airplane size things here? You'll be A-okay. But yeah, they only let you with a personal item, in air quotes, because that changes, and your carry-on. Most carry-ons I see are that smaller luggage size, or your average gym bag size, and then a backpack counts as your personal item. A purse counts as your personal item. And I know sometimes people be like, well, it's just a small purse. It's not like a whole other bag. It's no, that's a personal item, unfortunately. So
this we understand. We've got it figured out. I've got a big purse.
Yeah. If you're how long are you staying?
We are only going to be there 2 full days and 2 half days, just 3 nights.
Sure. Yeah. So you probably won't need to check stuff in there.
Okay. Thank you. I will confirm to my mom. I asked you and I asked Jack, so I can go back to her and say I've talked to several independent research sources, and they say don't check anything.
Yeah. I would try to advise against it, but at the end of the day, right, that's up to you guys. But it is more expensive. It is the hassle of waiting around afterwards to pick it up and stuff like that. But
although we would be the only people with a suitcase still from 1999, so at least it would not be hard to pick out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you said you would have your tablet for comics. Try to find something to entertain yourself with, a book or some music on Spotify that you've downloaded. Make a playlist.
I know how to do that. You got to get that granular
how to make
with
a playlist. But hey, there is also a fairly recent TikTok trend of people raw dogging flights. Yeah, just nothing, no entertainment, just sitting there looking straight ahead, not even watching TV or the little map that they sometimes have. If the seats in front of you have the screen so you can see where you are in the flight, the progress. just nothing. Raw dogging it.
That's Kubrickian, and I don't recommend it.
Yeah, neither do I. Yeah, I mean, it's just in general, it's not a fun experience. They always cram you in. It's uncomfortable. I like for me personally, I'm always in this weird state where like the hum of the engine and all of that stuff, it puts me to sleep. But the plane itself is so uncomfortable that I can't sleep. So I'm in this like constant state of like head back or like nodding forward. And it's just like I can't lean my head to one side or like back all the way. It's uncomfortable. So I always like to get a snack beforehand, but they will feed you snacks.
I've seen this
on the plane. The airplane bathrooms suck. So I like, for me personally, it's also like a movie theater experience where I try to dehydrate myself beforehand so I don't have to go. But that's it.
And our flight, St. Louis to Orlando, is like less than 2.5 hours. It's less than most major films. So yeah, I should be fine.
Yeah, you'll most likely be a-okay. It's a non-stop.
Yes, we're like perfect. We cannot contend with a layover. We would not know what to do. We'd break it somehow. Just get us there. Take us to Florida.
Cool.
Take us to Mickey, please.
Yeah, cool. I mean, that's kind of it. The whole thing just kind of sucks, but yeah.
I'm hoping it won't. I think the fact that we never fly will give it a sense of novelty. We'll be confounded, but at the end of the day, I think we'll also be delighted with, wow, we're all the way up here. Who is this person? Where are they from? We get to talk to all these people. They give us a free candy. My mom can have any soda she wants. It'll be great. Once we get the right luggage, it'll be great.
Yeah. It'll be good. It'll be good. I think you guys will have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll be experts.
This was not funny, but it was informative.
Yeah, you guys will then be experts, and then you can come back on the podcast and yell at me about the things that I forgot to tell you. Like, Kyle, why didn't you tell me that the line to get to security was awkwardly really long down those like pads?
Our flight is like 8:40 a.m. on a Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get there by like 6:30 is like 2 hours. Do you need more than 2 hours?
No, most likely not.
Okay.
I would say hour and a half get there, but it's always kind of hit or miss. Sometimes it'll be busy. Sometimes it won't be. Who knows if they stop you to be like, Melissa, you have a comically large tablet in here. What else are you hiding?
No,
right?
Do you want to see the tablet?
No, I'm kidding.
Look,
yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, it's just comic sized. It's big enough for Zatanna.
Yeah, but generally speaking, especially on the earlier stuff, especially if you're getting there like an hour and a half to 2 hours beforehand, you'll be fine. You'll probably have a little bit of time to sit at your gate and be like, okay, do I need to use the bathroom? Do you want a snack?
Right.
Do you want stuff like
that? Do we need to buy any paperback thrillers? Does James Patterson come with us? Stephen King?
Stephen King, James Patterson not included, but I'm sure you can buy some buy some new novel at the airport or stuff like that. I don't know. It's up to you. Whatever you want.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you thank you for this greatly needed advice. I hope there's some audience member who's also not a flyer and was like, how do you fly? I know people do it, but like,
stick your arms
details
out and then you all flap at the same time. Think of those old Viking ships where they were like, row, 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 but it's like flap, flap, flap. Man, I remember when I was in middle school, I had a binder that you could put all of the there was the binders with that like laminated outside, so you could put stuff like a flyer on the inside or whatnot. And I had one of those, so I like decorated a piece of paper with like drawings and stickers, and it was a big collage of stuff. And one of the things that I found that I did not put on that binder, but I found in my search for all of that stuff, was a comic from Pearls Before Swine in the newspaper, and I think this was shortly after most airplanes decided to not serve you a meal on the plane. It was only the like, you get like a complimentary bag of peanuts, and that's kind of it, right? And they were making some joke that the bag of peanuts also serves as your pillow and flotation device. And I thought that was good to a middle schooler. I was like, this is brilliant. I love it.
The comedy.
Yeah. Comedy gold. Good stuff. Yeah. When is your trip again? It's at the end of this month, right?
It is next Monday through next Thursday, so it doesn't
Cool.
impact recording scheduling at all.
Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. Should be fun. Let's see. Any other so I had a weird experience, not necessarily about, well, not weird. That's not the right word. It's a story that was funny to me, and especially with me just saying that comic was like comedy gold to me in middle school. I'm now worried that it's not as funny to other people, but it's funny to me and my partner. So my neighbors, the family that's on my right, they are the one whose kid plays soccer, and his soccer balls will always come into our backyard. I think they bought a new car. There was a Jeep that had started to be parked amongst the plethora of cars that they have, cars and trucks, and they have an RV out there. There's always just jam-packed with cars and stuff. But there's been a new Jeep that has been parked out on the driveway or out on the street right next to them. And Rachel pointed out to me that they had a bunch of bumper stickers on the back of the car. Some I could care less for, don't like, all that stuff. But then they had one that we just thought was funny. And we were like, this is a good chuckle. What are they doing with this bumper sticker on the back of their car? The bumper sticker said, "The Boobie Bouncer." And of course, the two O's and boobies look like boobs. And so we're like, well, maybe this is like a cousin that's in town staying to visit or something, because it was new. We haven't seen this car before.
Oh, you could not. That's a cousin from a movie.
Right, yeah.
Boobie Bouncer cousin.
So, but he we don't know if it's like a family member or a good friend, but the car is starting to be here a little more often than we had. Like, okay, it's sticking around a little bit longer. Yeah,
the
right.
Boobie Bouncer is your new stepdad.
The new stepdad. Good Lord. But so now we think they just happened to buy a new car rather than it be like some relative or some unfortunate stepdad. Because they've removed the sticker. They've left all the others, but they've removed the Boobie Bouncer. The Boobie Bouncer is no more. Yeah.
Wow.
There's one that has like guns and stuff on it. It's like, oh, okay, you can do the one for that's still on there. Okay, But the Boobie Bouncer is gone.
Maybe they're taking it one sticker at a time. You know, you break a large task up into smaller tasks.
Who knows? Who knows?
I remove one sticker a week, and by the end of the year, I'm done with that chore.
They ran out of the like Goo Gone sticker removal stuff. Yeah,
that Boobie was really on there. Really.
We thought it was funny, so I don't know.
I also have a very dumb bumper sticker I saw once that I still laugh at. It's a Toyota with a sticker on it that just says, "This Toyota fucks."
Yeah, great, love it.
That's all.
Amazing, so good. Cool. Well, I say, wait, you had this thing in all caps. Let's do this. I'm interested in this thing. I have no idea what it is. You put this on there.
I can't remember if I've ever told you about this or not. You've never heard of celebrity number 6?
I don't think so.
Okay. In the mid 2000s, somebody in like Finland or Norway went to a fabric store to buy fabric to make into curtains. And what they picked out was this like pop art collage of a bunch of line drawings of celebrities. And they can look at the fabric and identify some of these people I know. These are real celebrities that they just like posterized in Photoshop. Like it's from the mid 2000s, so it features both Josh Holloway and Ian Somerhalder from Lost.
Great.
You know. People from around that time. And years later, they go to Reddit and they ask, I would really love to have help identifying every person on this piece of fabric.
Yes.
And there's like 9 of these celebrities. They find a lot of them and they find the specific photos they're from. A lot of it is like a magazine photo shoot or like a Getty Images photo from a red carpet or something like that. And they put like a number by each of the faces and they found everybody. Except for celebrity number 6.
Melissa, I've had an experience almost exactly like this. Where I'm pretty sure at some point I mentioned it really, really, really early on in our podcasting career here at the Captain's Log. I had a shirt from Walmart, just like a graphic tee of the Avengers. It was like, but instead of like having all of their faces next to each other or like a team photo kind of thing there, it was meant to look like one face and divided up like pieces of the pie.
Right.
I know. Kind of remember that shirt that I used to have. Yeah, and
there's one pizza slice and you couldn't figure out who it was.
And I never knew who it was. It was so weird. It was like I know these characters. I'm a big comic book nerd. I don't know who that is. So, who knows? But you think they may have found like, celebrity number 6?
Maybe that was like one of the Inhumans or some character that like Ike Perlmutter was really pushing onto merchandise that never had any actual staying power.
I have no idea. Yeah. Blackagar Boltagon in the midst of the Avengers there. Yeah. Who knows?
Celebrity number 6 went through so many different comparison points. And like this person and their image is also like, you know, like it's sort of drawn over. It's like 2-color pop art style. And it's just vague enough that it like looks really androgynous and people have no clue like gender of this person, age of this person. They've got a time frame of this is the most recent photo that we identified as a source for one of the other celebrities, and this is the oldest one. So we're looking at somewhere between like 1998 and 2006, and we know that whoever this artist is like pulled from these types of source materials. And like they can't get in touch with the artist, like the company who printed the fabric doesn't have any information. They're trying to like, all right, use AI to fill out like what might the rest of this person look like? Can we just get anything? Can we start anywhere? There's people flipping through like old Vogue magazines from like around the world trying to find this person. There was a period of time when people really thought it might have been Brad Pitt. You know, it went through so many iterations for like several years. This is something I've been following. Like, I'm not the person on the subreddit, but I watch a lot of Lost Media YouTube channels. And whenever they had a video, I'd watch that video. This is fascinating. It started to become so creepy. I'd look at celebrity number 6, like almost in fear. Like, who are you? Why can we not find you?
Yeah.
Why are we so far? And then just like this week, somebody found like a Spanish model in an old fashion magazine, and it's her. Like, it is, we found the exact photo, the exact outfit, everything makes sense. And this woman had no idea because she lives in like the Canary Islands or something. She's like, I just raised my kids. I'm not really in the fashion world anymore. But there's a photo of her holding up the celebrity number 6 photo. And she's like, weird that this happened. Not sure how I feel, but you know, kind of nice, I guess. Everyone who's contacted me has been very nice about it. They all seem so excited.
Cool. That's amazing.
Look it up, please. Now that I've told you the full story, please look up celebrity number 6.
Let me see if I can find. Did they call the fabric pattern by anything certain? Do I just look up celebrity number 6?
You look up celebrity number 6.
Celebrity. No, it's already.
Which does sound like a perfume.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Celebrity number 6 images. Okay. Yeah. So found after 5 years. Can I switch this to surfing? There we go, to bring this up on screen. Yeah. Okay, so that's her picture in the fabric. And then yeah, there's the actual photo right next to it. Yeah, that's it. That's kind of wild. Let's see who else is on this fabric.
It's a bunch of celebrities in the mid-aughts. I told you we got 2 different Losts on there. Orlando Bloom, Jessica Alba, I think Travis Fimmel, Adriana Lima. I think she's on there twice, which was another rabbit hole people went down. How do we know this isn't somebody else who's been used twice? Is this just like one really weird photo of a clean-shaven Josh Holloway that, like, with weird lighting where he looks different? How do we know?
That's kind of funny. That's cool, though. I love a good, like, internet mystery.
These stories are so thrilling, and I wish there was more fiction about them. I wish, like, the hit new David Fincher mystery thriller was about trying to identify who sang a song clip somebody found on the internet, and they don't know who did it.
Mindhunter Season 3.
What is this commercial from? I found it on an old VHS tape. Can anyone identify this?
That'd be so cool. That's so funny. Yeah. I now see, like, people, you can buy shirts of the photo of celebrity number 6 on there.
I might. I want to. I want a pattern that's just celebrity number 6 over and over again. Cut out the rest of them. Only her.
That's so funny. Whoa, hello.
Ah!
And welcome back.
Welcome back.
So the buttons on my Stream Deck weren't working this morning before I started the podcast. And I just happened to hit the button to go back to our main screen as a, like, just in case. Let me see. And apparently I forgot to turn the podcast intro thing off. So I guess the buttons are working again now. Oh, no. Cool. Mystery solved with that. That's fun.
Mystery solved. Good. Feeling good.
Cool. Well, let's take a quick break for some housekeeping. And when we come back, we got our pop culture lightning round. We got our cinema corner. We got all sorts of stuff here. What else we got? We got the movie Fantasy League is happening this year.
Yeah.
We'll see. So we will be right back. Thank you so much for checking out this podcast. We hope you're enjoying it. If you didn't know, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. But none of this is possible without your support. Head over to patreon.com/thewhatnauts and you can get access to over 40 hours of exclusive content, including our Patreon first podcast, The Pilots Club, when you sign up at our $3 tier. Of course, there is a free version of the Pilots Club available, but episodes are exclusive to our Patreon for 2 years before they hit the free feeds. If you're interested in buying merch, we have shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more for sale over at thewhatnauts.com/store. Another great way to help us out is by subscribing and leaving a nice rating and review on your podcasting app of choice. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for video versions of the show, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, you can always find out more information about the shows we make on our website, thewhatnauts.com. Perfect. And we are back.
Perfect.
Yeah, shout out to all of our Patreon supporters, as always. Thank you so much. We love you a lot. Over on the Pilots Club, we got to talk about Lost. It is the 20th anniversary of one of our favorite shows, Lost. And so we had to do that one for the Pilots Club, and we had a blast. It's kind of amazing how after 20 years and watching it over and over, that you can still find new things.
Right. It's still relevant. I mean, I just told that story about the celebrity number 6 fabric, which has Lost stars embedded in it.
Right.
So people have been staring at those faces 2 decades later.
Good stuff. Over on the free version of the Pilots Club, we just released our episode on The Shield. Which is another one, is a show that I want to go back to. I've always heard great things about it, but we only got to talk about the pilot for that show. Right here on the Captain's Log, last episode I got to talk about my trip to Tampa, got to go kayaking, all that good stuff. Melissa's office refrigerator was acting a fool, all sorts of strange stuff happening over there. But yeah,
I've got another one.
Check it out. You do.
We have 2 dishwashers, one for the employee break room and one for the butler's pantry, where I will prepare beverages for clients. Only the butler's pantry dishwasher works. The one in the break room wasn't connected to water. And they're once we install the second fridge that you need, then we're going to run a water line to that fridge and also to the dishwasher. And finally, the plumber gets there to hook up the fridge and the dishwasher. And he says, oh, the dishwasher has been connected to water. It has not been connected to power. Now we have to get an electrician in.
No, that's... Yeah, maddening office experiences for sure. For sure.
For how fancy this office is, it is very funny, the details that have fallen through the cracks that we have to deal with.
Sounds about right. Over on the review show, I want to give a big shout out to our 300th episode over there, in which Melissa and I designed a theme park based on everything that we've covered over on the review show. We came up with rides, what kind of characters we'd want to see walking around our theme park, what food would be there, what different kind of like sections or lands would be in our theme park. All good stuff. We had a blast with that one. But also, last episode, our most recent episode of the review show was Looney Tunes Back in Action. We started Shame Timber. And we tried a new experiment this time where Melissa gave me a list of the movies that were on her list of shame, and I got to pick for her, and vice versa. I gave you a list and you got to pick for me.
You did not give me a list. I just named something I know you've mentioned you've never seen.
Sure,
that was
right.
a glaring omission.
You had one locked and loaded, so good stuff with that. Shame Timber is always a fun thing to do, so we will be pairing Looney Tunes back in action with the Zodiac this month over on the review show. So
in our episode on Looney Tunes Back in Action, we talked about how we want to see a live action Porky Pig story starring Jesse Plemons.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other night, and I was still just like,
I'm still thinking
so
about
good.
it.
It's so good.
Because we talked about what if a new version of Looney Tunes was structured like Kinds of Kindness. And I went through the rest of the Kinds of Kindness cast, and I don't have all the answers. But I think Emma Stone is your Bugs, and Margaret Qualley is your Daffy.
Yeah.
And Willem Dafoe is Yosemite Sam.
Sure. I feel like he'd also make an interesting Elmer Fudd. But
Elmer Fudd is so round, and Willem Dafoe is one of the most gaunt men you can name.
I just feel he's just, I don't know. He's just a weird little man sometimes.
He's a weird little man.
You know what I mean? Like
he's just a weird little man sometimes. They're gonna when the Oscars gives him an honorary award when it's a salute to the career of Willem Dafoe, his decades of work. Just picture like some glamorous starlet in a long sparkly gown walking out on stage saying, "He's a weird little man sometimes." Hi.
Please welcome
I'm Anya Taylor-Joy here to salute Willem Dafoe.
Good stuff. Cool. That is all for housekeeping right now. There was something I almost forgot that I had. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Melissa, I bought the Oreos that taste like Coca-Cola, and I have a package right here. I have not
seen these.
I have not been able to find the Coca-Cola that tastes like Oreos yet.
What?
Yes, yeah, they have that. It's out there, but we did find the Oreos.
This is the freakiest Friday I've ever seen.
Right, it really is. So it's in a black Oreo package. It says Oreo Coca-Cola with popping candy. So it has the little pop rocks in there. I have already opened this because I gave a few to Rachel so she could eat them. But just opening the package itself, I can smell them. They smell like soda or like those soda candies, like those little root beer gummies or like bottle cap, like that kind of thing. Like you get the smell of Coca-Cola almost. But the cookies themselves are red and black. They are red on one side. Whoop, that one just snapped open. They have a red cookie on one side and then a regular Oreo cookie on the other. So they're funky colored. But I haven't had one yet. So I'm gonna eat one and see what it's like.
Eat away. Here he goes, folks. He eats the Oreo.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Oreo noises.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect it to be boring.
It's certainly not boring. It's not as Coke flavored as I was hoping it would be, but I can certainly taste it. I saw someone else describe it as it kind of tastes like Coke vanilla with a little bit of chocolate in there.
I like that. Okay.
And I think that's kind of right. Like you get from the icing, you get that creamier Coke flavor. So Coke vanilla, but then you still have the chocolate cookie. So interesting. Not bad. And it does have the like pop rock style candy in there, but not as much as the actual pop rock Oreos that I had a couple months ago.
Pop rock Oreos, pop punk Oreos, post punk Oreos.
Pop punk goes Nabisco. So good stuff. Good stuff with that.
Nice. I have not encountered these things. We'll look today.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Okay.
While you finish eating the Oreo, let me tell you about a movie I saw.
Thank you.
Yesterday, I went to see the 4:30 movie. And I know a lot about movies. This was one that completely escaped my radar.
Yeah.
Until Jack texted me and asked if I wanted to go see it at the Alamo. The 4:30 movie is the latest film by Kevin Smith. And it is set in like 1986 or something, when Batman the movie is only a rumor. And it is about these teenage boys who go to their local movie theater and sneak in from movie to movie throughout the day. And they meet weird characters and they get into trouble. And one of them has a girl he's trying to impress. So it's like a little coming of age love letter to the movies that all takes place in like one afternoon.
Right.
Kevin Smith style.
Okay, so I have heard of this. I didn't realize it was called the 4:30 movie. I knew Kevin Smith was working on a new movie. I had heard semi-autobiographical, but I don't know how true that was. Cool.
Seems like it.
Cool. Okay, that's all I know.
Right. It was charming. I mean, I don't know Kevin Smith as well as perhaps I should for the presence he has in like 21st century film culture.
Sure.
Whenever I hear him on a podcast as a guest, he seems like very thoughtful, very intelligent, very kind. I don't know his style super well.
He's a great podcaster too. He has his own like podcasting empire.
I do know this.
There.
The one movie of his I have seen all the way through is Tusk, which I know I saw because it was spun out of a podcast episode he did.
Yeah.
Kyle, on the Alamo Drafthouse app, at least for our local St. Louis Alamo Drafthouse, when you go to the page of movies that are playing only at the Alamo, I'll go through there like every 2 weeks or something to see if they've added anything cool. I've got the Alamo Pass so I can see like all these movies every month for just like the $2 convenience fee. I scroll to the very bottom and they're showing Tusk. And I thought, weird, I haven't heard that they're showing Tusk. They didn't mention it in like an email newsletter. This isn't part of any larger series that they're doing. Like they'll do Horror Month or Pride Month or this month it's all movies from this year or whatever. I don't know why they're playing Tusk. I mean, I guess the movie's quietly turning 10 years old. But it's there at the very bottom, unannounced. When you click on it, there is no plot synopsis like there is for the other movies in the Alamo app. And when you click on the link to the trailer, it takes you to a broken YouTube channel that's been taken down.
That's funny.
I've never encountered something in real life that feels that much like a creepypasta.
Right? Of like, I've stumbled onto something I shouldn't have.
I'm like, I feel like the only people who should see Tusk are people who have already seen Tusk. This is so unfriendly to anyone who wants to check it out now for the first time. It's like that island in Pirates of the Caribbean that you can only get to if you've been there before.
Oh, man.
But the 4:30 movie, I had a pretty good time. It's, cool. Smith style, I think, works for you or it doesn't. But there's a lot of like really sincere, sweet moments in this movie. I had a pretty good time with it.
Cool. Good stuff.
And lots of very fun, like fake movies within movies and fake trailers and dumb fake movie names. And if you like that, that's which I always find joy in, the fake sub movie. Plenty of that is there.
That's cool. Interesting. The 4:30 movie. I'm not sure if that's playing near me. I think the next movie I'm going to go see is that Transformers. Transformers 1.
I am also kind of into this Transformers movie, and I'm not traditionally a Transformers gal.
I'm not it either. I know we've read like one Transformer comic on the review show. That's most of my knowledge, besides the like the first maybe two Transformers live action movies. But yeah, I don't know. It just looks like it'd be a good time. So,
yeah.
Happy to go see that one. Melissa, we also went to go see Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Let's
we
talk
did
about
as well.
That one.
Whole Wilkinson family went. It was nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Did any of you dress up or do makeup or anything like that?
Oh, not that intense, but you saw me. I have just like a black and white striped shirt I was wearing last week. You can still see so much of it. I went to the theater yesterday. People in full black and white striped outfits. It's so nice. I love when something like that happens. A movie you can lightly dress up for. Yeah. I feel like everyone is still riding the high of Barbie last year and realizing maybe how much they do want to dress up for things.
Yeah, especially as cosplay has kind of taken off in culture, in American culture at least. It's still fairly new here, but I think it's caught on in a way that's like, hey, yeah, you could do a cosplay for a movie event or like an Alamo Draft House night thing when they're playing who knows what, right? Yeah, it's good. It's fun. And then you can buy the big old popcorn dish and right, you can just have a good time.
Yeah, we're bringing theme park energy into the movie theater.
Yeah,
with these popcorn buckets and with your Disney bounding outfits. I really like it.
When Dune 2 came out, did you see the clips of the guy that was like riding on the sandworm in the movie theater? What? Like he made some like homemade giant sandworm on like one of those hoverboard, those like 2-wheel hoverboard things. So he's standing on that, but it looks like he's standing on a giant worm, and he's like going through the movie theater. Well, I don't know if it was the same person or not. It looked like it was. It looked like they repurposed that sandworm to be the sandworm from Beetlejuice, because then he's in there like on his sandworm in outfit.
What a great year for sandworms!
Yeah, indeed. Now
they've never had it better than in 2024.
Now we just need a surprise remake of Tremors. For sandworms.
A surprise remake of Tremors. That's the twist at the end of Speak No Evil, is that a Tremor comes out and eats Scoot McNairy.
Kevin Bacon steps on screen. We're so back, baby.
What? Let's do that in next year's Rotten Tomatoes game. Guess the movie that you think is a secret reboot of Tremors.
Until it happens every year, we have to pick. I think it's gotta be that one.
Right. Maybe this is just a James McAvoy thing, is that he's constantly in movies that are secretly a sequel to another movie. Just like Split.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, I had a blast seeing Beetlejuice, or as we like to call Beetlejuice.
That was fun for a while, but I think the actual title Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is very
tiring. Yeah, it's tiring to say it both times.
But when something is tiring, that's very funny to me.
It makes me think. So will they do a third one, and will that one just be called Beetlejuice Beetlejuice Beetlejuice? Because that's kind of ridiculous, and I love it.
Right. I like that timeline.
Beetle thrice, as we'll say. Yeah, I enjoyed the movie a lot. I don't know. It fits in this, like, it feels like a good like reintroduction to the franchise. It's not a remake, but it is kind of a reboot but also not like they're not you know what I mean? Like if this is it, if this is all they make, I think they'd be okay with it, right?
Mm. Mm.
So I don't feel like they're trying to reboot the franchise and like, oh, now like we'll do a trilogy and we'll do this and spin-offs and bring back the animated series and stuff like that. But I don't know, that it's a fun world to be in.
Yes.
And I just had a good time.
Yeah, the movie looks really good. The plot's kind of so mechanical, it's a mess, but it's got like fun performances in it, fun things to look at. I love the MacArthur Park sequence as an escalation to the banana boat sequence, where I'm going to take this old, practically a novelty song that has nothing to do with what's going on. I'm going to make everybody sing and dance to it. And MacArthur Park is like 7 minutes long. And it's got so many times when he could have stopped and said, now the scene is over. We've done enough MacArthur Park.
And it just keeps going.
No, it keeps
going. New character
going.
enters and they start singing and dancing. It's great.
I love that. I love something that just fully commits to the bit. Is like, you did not ask for any of it, but now we're giving you 2 servings of it. Enjoy.
Yeah. It's interesting for me because I'm not familiar with the song that they used. And I think back to when I first saw the original Beetlejuice. I feel like it's kind of a chicken and the egg situation for me. I don't know where I heard that banana boat song. Was it from Beetlejuice? Was that the first time as a young child heard that song, or did I know about it beforehand? Because while I really, really loved that scene, I felt like I didn't have an attachment to that song. And I felt like I should have had some kind of attachment to that song. But that might not be the case, right? It might just be my nostalgia for that one scene in the original, being like, that's a great scene. And then me just being like, I love the scene, but I don't know the song.
You don't have to. I feel like that scene really did shape what I love in film for years to come. When I make a list of my favorite scenes in film from any particular year, a lot of it is, and now we stop and suddenly there's singing and dancing. Then we go back to the rest of the movie. Yeah. I love just an aberration, a non sequitur, a severe break in the traditional plot events.
Yeah.
A song and dance.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good things to say all around with it. So
yeah, good time. It's doing very, very well at the box office. I'm happy we have it.
Yeah. Good way to start your spooky season early. It still feels like summer outside, but the stores are all starting to get their fall decorations out.
I got my Halloween pillow out. They always start this early. It's important to start this early. You don't want to do these things in a hurry.
Yeah.
You need time. For every holiday, you need the time to go and shop and consider and think and plan.
Indeed. My other thing in my cinema corner here is I finished up a show that I've been watching on Netflix called Bad Guys. This is a show that I really like because this is a remake of a show called Bad Guys. There's a Korean show by the same name, and Netflix bought the rights. They did their own version of it. They called it Bad Guys Vile City. That was like one of the first K-dramas that I watched. I fell in love with it. It was incredible. Netflix, I don't think, ended up making a season 2, even though they had like a cameo at the end of one of the characters from the original show, like show up and be like, I have your next case, right? So that was interesting. But this one that's on Netflix now, at least here in the United States, is a Thai remake. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And it was Good. It was exactly what it's basically shot for shot, beat for beat remake of the original Korean show. And yeah, I like it a lot. It's still, it looks like a much lower budget show. Like it almost has that like soap opera-y look to it. But the story is really good. So it is worth checking out. So
Good to hear.
yeah, good stuff indeed. Good stuff indeed. Melissa, you are doing your movie fantasy league again this year.
Would you like to do it with me this year?
You know what? I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah.
I can't make promises for the year after that, but I know you asked me the same thing last year, and I turned you down. And so I was like, you know what? You know what? This year, maybe I should. So fill me in with the info. I know you've told me, but can you like explain what this is?
This is the Movie Fantasy League put on by Joe Reed of Vulture, pop culture news site Vulture. We are in the drafting period right now. You have to have your draft in by October 3rd, and then the game runs through the Oscars, which will be in early to mid-March next year. You have 100 fictional dollars to draft 8 movies. You must draft 8 movies, and they cost anywhere from $40 to $1. You get points based on both box office, if it is a movie that is released after the draft is locked. For example, if you took Beetlejuice, you would not get any points for its box office, even as it probably will continue to thrive through October.
Right.
Only movies released after the start of gameplay can have box office points. Points for box office, points for Rotten Tomatoes scores at the end of the year, and points for awards performance.
Nice.
And this is not just the Oscars, but the Golden Globes, the Gotham Awards, the Spirit Awards, the BAFTAs, the SAGs, the Los Angeles Film Critics Association. All sorts of little critical bodies giving out all sorts of awards. Anything from, if your movie gets a nomination from a minor critics circle, you get 10 points, all the way up to your movie took Best Picture at the Oscars. That's 100 points.
Cool.
So yeah, our biggest value movie this year is Gladiator 2 at $40.
Mm-hmm.
All the way down to Kneecap at $1.
Great movie. Phenomenal movie.
This is what you said.
Yeah.
Right. You can really shop the bargain bin. Like, I've got a list of things I'm considering. You can get a lot out of like a $5 movie here. Yeah. So it's been a lot of like playing around, trying to figure out what configuration of things I want. You know, like Netflix has some promising awards contenders this year, but they only put them in theaters for like a week. So I'm not going to get any box office points out of them. Do I even want any Netflix movies in my draft? There's a lot to think about. It's great fun.
Cool.
Me and friends are doing it, and I've been trying to prime you this year, telling you about things that are coming up.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't walk into this oblivious.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I will join you this year. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You get to come up with a funny team name.
Cool. Good. Well, let's see here. We also got our pop culture lightning round. Couple quick things that caught my attention. Destin Daniel Cretton will be directing Spider-Man 4. He previously did the Shang-Chi movie, so I would love Spider-Man 4 to be a kind of street level movie. In the comics, at one point, Spider-Man lost his spider sense, and so he's like, this sense that I rely on to like fight, I now no longer have that, and now I'm just kind of a normal dude, and I don't know how to fight. So he went to Shang-Chi and he helped him develop a spider foo so he could like actually know how to fight without his spider sense there. Who knows if we'll get some kind of crossover with Spidey meeting Shang-Chi. I think that would be great. I would love to see something like that.
They're on opposite ends of the country.
Yeah, but I would love to see it happen somehow. We've seen Spider-Man go to space and to another planet. So if he can go all the way out there, he can go to LA, San Francisco.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's not
stuff.
impossible. I'm just curious what would bring one person to the other person's city. That would be, we have not gotten quite as much of Spider-Man just among New York City, maybe as we ought to.
Right.
But I can also imagine that was a way to like differentiate him from previous Spider-Men. Like Toby and Andrew were entirely NYC based. So I can see why they might have wanted to put Tom in Europe. Just shake it up a little bit.
I think I'm not sure how true this is. I think there has been kind of word on the street that Spider-Man 4 will also be some kind of multiverse movie.
What is it?
Again. So I don't know. They've already done the thing where they've gone to the other Spider-Men, like, are you in this movie? And they're just like, no, you heard wrong. That's also what they said last time. So who knows?
The last handful of Marvel movies have all involved some sort of multi-universe or a scene where somebody like kind of dies and sees the other side of our plane of existence. Yeah. Like when Rocket kind of dies and sees Lila. They've all had something like that. I would be shocked if it was just normal. Just 616, start to finish. Nobody even dreams. We just stay here.
God, I mean, I kind of want that. I think that'd
back
be
to
awesome.
basics, sure. Yeah.
You could include Daredevil and Shang-Chi in there, get some like street level heroes. I think that'd be awesome. That'd be so good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Then over on the Sony, or even further on the Sony side of Marvel here, we got the most recent trailer for Venom, which when it came out and it said like the final trailer, I was like, did I see the first one? Did I know that they did? Yeah, I probably did. And now as I think back, I'm like, okay, yeah, I kind of remember them announcing a trailer and all that stuff. But it was just strange for me to be like, final trailer. Okay. This trailer confirms Noel as the villain. Noel is essentially like the symbiote king, the symbiote god. He's the head honcho. There, he's a much more recent character in the comics. He's really cool. The kind of scuttlebutt online that I've been hearing is people are very nervous to have him as the villain, especially since this is the final movie and the Sony movies haven't necessarily been great, and Noel is a great villain, and in the same way that the MCU kind of flubbed the God Butcher, they're kind of being like, I think it's gonna kind of be like that. He's gonna be this real watered down version, and he's probably gonna die at the end, and everyone lived happily ever after. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm excited.
A Venom's
for
a Venom to me, and a Venom's
Venom.
a great time. Yeah.
Indeed. On a much sadder note, rest in peace to James Earl Jones, who had a prolific acting career, probably most famous for Darth Vader and Mufasa in The Lion King.
Among very many. One particular credit of his I'd like to make people aware of, if they're not. He's in the very first Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode.
That's awesome.
Which they started that in season 2. And you can go watch this old episode. where the final of those 3 segments is just James Earl Jones reading Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven.
Great.
And then the animation to it is like, what if Homer is the guy being pursued by the Raven and Bart is the Raven? So there's like a little bird that looks like Bart just menacing him.
That's great. I love it.
It's a really wonderful time to spend with the sweet sonorous voice of James Earl Jones reading that poem. I'm happy he did it. I'm happy he's part of that. This is just one of the fact that this is just a footnote in the man's incredible legacy.
Yes.
Yeah. He's really did so many things. Seems like a great guy. Lived a good long life. How lucky we were to have a James Earl Jones.
Yes. He was 93, which is incredible.
That's good.
And he was always an actor that I was aware of as someone with a speech impediment too, because his stories that he also stuttered when he was younger, and it was acting that helped him get over that. So cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
But then last but not least, speaking of awards season and all of that good stuff, Shogun apparently has broken an Emmy record with 14 awards for a single season. Now, Melissa, you'll have to explain to me, because with something like this, I thought the Emmys already happened, but apparently the real Emmys are tonight.
The Emmys have already done, I believe they're called the Creative Arts Emmys. This is when they give out a lot of their technical awards, things like costume design or best original song. And they will also do guest acting awards. The best lead, best supporting for comedy and drama. That's in the main award show, which happens tonight. But they've already given out best guest awards. And then the Emmys that are happening tonight are for TV that happened, I think, from like May 2023 to May 2024.
Okay.
So for a lot of these shows, it might be their previous season. Like, they're not awarding Bear Season 3, they're awarding Bear Season 2. So like Jamie Lee Curtis has already won an Emmy for Fishes.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So the big time awards have not even happened, and Shogun has already broken a record, which is incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good on that.
They are expected to clean up tonight. I am becoming more of a general purpose award show watcher. I'm trying to expand beyond just like the Oscars and the film ones. This is going to be the first time maybe since Lost was on TV that I want to sit down and watch a whole Emmy award.
Sure.
And there's friends of ours there, The Bear, the Slow Horses, things we covered on the review show. I've got enough of a context for most of these things.
Yeah.
And I only saw the pilot episode of Shogun, and it wasn't really what I was looking for at the time. But I can tell it is a very well put together show. Yeah. I'm excited to see it awarded. I'm excited to see Hiroyuki Sanada probably walk away with an Emmy. That's great.
Yeah. Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. Tune in tonight. You'll see plenty of things you know and like. Yeah. Night Country's in there.
Cool.
Lots of stuff.
Good stuff indeed. Yeah. I think that about wraps us up for this episode of Captain's Log. So, Melissa, where can the people get in contact with you?
You can send me an email, just the good old-fashioned way, at yourhostmelissa@gmail.com.
There you go. If you guys want to stay up to date with me, I am at Kyle Springer. And if you would like to stay up to date with all the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts Official on Threads. So please go like, share, and subscribe. You guys know the deal with all that. If you're watching this on YouTube, more videos over there on that side of the screen. Go check them out. That would help us out a ton as well. And yeah, this has been number 281 of the Captain's Log. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.